There are too many problems outside of self-education. Both self-education and world's great respect for it is a form of indoctrination prevention. And indoctrination is our biggest problem early on, as it always stands for somebody else installing ideas in our minds. The only ideas we need to concern ourselves with revolve around growing all the way up until we each become a great thinking being. For example, saving for college and taking out loans for university, letting overwork and stress destroy family and life is easily prevented by becoming a great being, taking to self-education, becoming a software developer, an entrepreneur, and then watching an entire generation of people who rose in similar ways make universities free, make poverty come to an end, and come together, converging on wisdom and world peace. Self-directed and self-paced education driven by audio, video, visualization, simulation, and computer intelligence from language models on up can easily fix education and still make room for focus and intellectual hygiene, where there's plenty of time to listen to narrated books on the great adventure trails, and no stress of graduation or failure. Only fake education could come up with something as short-sighted as graduation. Only the student's path of curiosities and self-education and achievement matters. Real education is lifelong. School repair is closely tied to universal basic income, which must be for all human beings. And this is where we ram into that problem of indoctrination again. Indoctrination can turn a person against themselves and thus against their community in the long run. Therefore, this plastic card that borrows from the improved future of humankind and the community must come with a library of books that can be used for self-education. At first, there will be a need for a computer program that evaluates progress and aims. It will have to test if the communities are ready to improve their future and thus borrow money from that place, or if the card will be used against progress to cause more harm, to hold the community back. Indoctrination is not part of the human condition like wisdom or growing up. It is a form of control. Once initialized, it is often unknowingly spread, as that is what people know, that's all they grew up with, so they will continue spreading the best ideas they have without realizing that they are meant for something else. There are no criminals, just people indoctrinated into a culture of crime. There is no such thing as a drug culture, just victims of indoctrination into drug use. I mention these because some of my classmates ended up there. I watched them turn into people that they were not originally going to become. I watched my bullies give into snarling, red-faced violence and groupthink. They were family at first, that then got broken up by stress, threat, stupid, and pain. A city that fractures poor people and then sends them to prison is not a city at all. It is a kitchen. It is a factory. I personally believe that everyone can be unindoctrinated, or as some rehab professionals may say, reprogrammed, or more respectfully and correctly, deprogrammed to become the loving and far-thinking and seeing great beings that they were meant to become in the first place. The trouble is that we serve the younger generations first. There's probably no time to help those who are already hurt. That just goes to show how much work is required to build real schools and indoctrination prevention measures. By the time students are equipped to handle universal income in ways that helps humanity grow, by the time students can tell ineffective education from authentic education, those who are already tricked to act against themselves and their communities will have long passed. There is neither future in ineffective education nor in ineffective politics. In great part because all it takes to begin moving towards real schools and the permanent and wise end of poverty is the popularization of self-education, where students learn to see the many shades of fraud and exploitation that they are soon to face. None of them will agree to fake education or overwork or putting their family life in danger, and they will see a life of stress as a terrible mistake, just by taking to books that were written by clear-thinking great beings. Humanity has already begun looking in this direction with the invention of narrated books, audio courses, and computers and internet. But we are yet to cross the tipping point between ineffective education made to look real and glorious and effective self-education, where students learn to understand that to grow up means to grow all the way up and become independent great beings.